We are heading to the custom at 6, having breakfast at 7, doing our grocery run at 9, heading to a shopping mall at 10 to do a whole day shopping, and wrapping up our day with a nice dinner before heading back to Singapore. Let's go! Driving from Singapore into JB for the first time or even the 5th time can feel very intimidating and chaotic. Follow me as I guide you step by step for a smooth first time drive into JB. I will also give you a sample day trip driving itinerary for you to reference to make your day perfect. So as we drive along the highway into JB, do take note that there will be 2 queues going into the JB customs. There's one on the right side, this is a single lane and the one that I use most common. And there's also another one on the left side. Do take note to avoid the middle lane as that's only for motorbikes and it'll be very difficult to cut back into the main car lane. So on the right side, you will end up in lane 3 and 4, and on the left side, you will end up in lane 1 and 2. So my recommendation when there's a lot of cars is to always go with lane 4. The reason is because at lane 3, every car exiting the custom is joining into one single lane and it tends to always get congested. So you have to queue a bit to exit the custom into the main causeway. So a few things to take note before you drive into JB. Ensure that you have VEP registered. If you are not a Singaporean, do remember to submit your MDEC arrival card. And also ensure that your vehicle has 3/4 fuel tank. Make sure you have a touch and go card. I'll explain more later. So for those that need to buy a touch and go card, do get it from the link here before you drive in. I'll also put it in the description box. So when you reach the Malaysian custom, there's usually 2 lanes that will converge into one. So if you don't want the hassle of having to cut into the main lane, always just keep to the left lane until you reach the JB customs. So the JB custom also has 4 different lanes to clear the customs. For here, you can just pick whichever is the most convenient and go with it. So once you clear the JB custom, you have to be very careful as you exit the JB customs. Because the road actually splits into 2 different paths that will take you to 2 different parts of JB. If you want to go to the left side of JB or the central JB, keep to the right lane. So for today, because we are going to Aeon Tebrau area, so do keep to the left lane when you exit the Johor custom. The jam can be pretty bad if you go during the peak hours. So usually what I do is that I like to go a bit earlier at about 6 to 7 AM. But the downside is that you will be in JB very early in the morning and a lot of the malls are not open until 10. So what I usually do is that I'll first start with a breakfast. So today we'll be going to Oriental Coffee at Johor Jaya for breakfast. The benefit of this brunch is that it opens at 7 AM. So it's actually a very convenient place to have an early breakfast if you clear the customs earlier. After the breakfast, one hack that I always do is actually to head to the Lotus to do some grocery shopping before the malls open at 10 AM. The good thing about Lotus is that it's actually open at 8 AM, so you can actually do an early grocery run here.
Besides groceries, they also sell a lot of electronics and home appliances and home fix stuff. So it's more of a one-stop shop for a lot of the things that you need. And of course, you can also do your groceries here. So it's one of my favorite supermarkets because it's really very big and there's also a lot of things here. Definitely a good place to stop by for all your grocery and shopping needs. So generally the household cleaning stuff is actually cheaper in Malaysia supermarket. Like for example, this breeze is 18.85, but in Singapore it's about 12 SGD. So generally when I come here, if I'm driving, I tend to buy a lot of the cleaning stuff like detergent, floor cleaners, etc. But do always compare the price because sometimes not every item is cheaper here. So I was introduced to this floor cleaner brand by one of the seller here. So apparently it's a brand that I don't see in Singapore. According to the seller, it's pretty good for keeping away mosquito because it has lemongrass and this is the ingredients. So another thing that I always like to buy in JB supermarket is actually the tuna. The tuna is actually a bit cheaper compared to Singapore. For example, the tuna here is about 765 ringgit. In Singapore, it's about 350 SGD. And also one of my viewers actually recommended the Lotus brand tuna. He says it's very good. So I'm probably going to get some to try this time around. And they also have seafood here as well. Different type. I think it's the golden pomfret. You can actually bring fish and seafood back to Singapore, but probably you need to buy it on your way home. They're more like a one-stop shop for a lot of things. They have clothes, they have stools, they have containers. So you can really buy a lot of things here. Great for those that drive into JB.
So once you're done, let's head to the malls to do some shopping. Just beside Lotus, there's actually two mega malls, Aeon Tebrau and Topen. So Aeon Tebrau, you actually find more fashion shops. There's also a lot of eateries here, and there's also the mega bookstore ShuDaXia.
Chicken rice, Chinese place called 客人来. There's a large Haidilao at Aeon Tebrau. A Kinsahi Japanese food chain. It's quite popular here. A lot of places have Kinsahi. Star Kids Fun Sports and Gym. There's a large Aeon department store. The Aeon department store sells a variety from clothes, lady shoes, etc. And we have the popular Huamei food store here famous for their chicken chop. Punya Thai kitchen for Thai cuisine. Looks interesting. And of course, we have a very large Cha Ji here also.
Topen Mall is just opposite Aeon Tebrau, and you can reach it easily via the overhead bridge. So compared to Aeon, Topen is more designed as an activities mall. So there's a lot of activities that you can do inside. There's actually go-karts, there is IKEA, there's a decathlon as well. And it tends to have more unique lifestyle shops compared to the big brands at Aeon Tebrau. At the top of Topen, you can also find a rooftop activity zones for the kids.
I think Topen is almost as big as Aeon Tebrau. It is a pretty big mall. I think there's a Mr. Dollar shop here that looks like a bit like Daiso. There's also a huge cinema at level 3, so you can bring the whole family for some movie fun. Harvey Norman.
Earlier I mentioned that we need to prepare a touch and go card. The reason for it is because most of the parking in the shopping malls requires either a touch and go card or a credit card. I feel it's safer to use a touch and go card instead of a credit card, and in the event your VEP account doesn't have enough money, you can also use the touch and go card to pay at the custom. So for those that need to buy a touch and go card, you can support the channel by using the link here. I will also put it in the description box. Now that we are done with all our shopping, let's head over to Mount Austin, which is just 10 minutes drive away, to have a nice dinner to wrap up our day. There's a large amount of food options at Mount Austin, but today I'll just introduce you to 3 different options. We have Basilico, which is an Italian food. We have Sushi Zento, which is a high-value Japanese dining place. And lastly, we have the ShuDaXia Hotpot, with its impressive meat platter and its tasty soup.
The wife ordered the Gindaru Nabe. We have a large piece of salmon. And we have tuna. I ordered the dragon roll.
And that wraps up our one-day road trip to JB. To go back to Singapore, just follow the map and head towards the EDL. As a rule of thumb, while on the EDL, just stick to the rightmost lane and just follow the cars to reach the JB custom. For those that's not driving, you can check out this video here on how to get to JB by bus.